right, Shalom. Into it.
British financier and philanthropist Jacob Rothschild of the Rothschild banking dynasty has died at the age of 87. His family is remembering him as a towering presence and passionate supporter of the arts through his charities, but he also leaves behind a complicated legacy, with many people online calling out his family for their role in the creation of Israel. Emily Taylor joins us live in studio with the details of his legacy. Emily?
Hi, Louie. Now, Rothschild has been trending high online all day today. Many politicians and people in the arts are posting online mourning his death, but there's also a number of people creating a stir online, pointing to how his family is connected with the Balfour Declaration. That's often considered a founding document in the Israel-Palestine conflict.
We care passionately about climate change. And how does that reflect itself?
Financier and banking mogul Lord Jacob Rothschild died today at the age of 87. In a statement, his family says he was a towering presence and will be remembered for his contributions to the arts and Israel and Jewish culture. Former British Prime Minister Tony Blair also shared his condolences online. Rothschild comes from a banking dynasty with a billion-dollar fortune and began his career at the family bank NM Rothschild and Sons in the 1960s before breaking away to start his own businesses and charities. The Rothschild family is also credited with helping to create a Jewish homeland in Palestine, starting with the 1917 Balfour Declaration 2 decades before Jacob was born.
What do you feel when you see it here?
I've genuinely felt it's one of the most extraordinary moments in the history of the Jewish people. If you think it took 3,000 years to get to this.
Many Palestinian people point to the declaration as one of the founding documents in the Israel-Palestine conflict, spawning decades of battles and now an almost 5-month-long war. The declaration from UK Foreign Secretary Arthur Balfour, made to Lord Walter Rothschild, says the British government views with favor the establishment in Palestine of a national home for the Jewish people and will use their best endeavors to facilitate the achievement of this object. It goes on to say that nothing shall be done which may prejudice the civil and religious rights of existing non-Jewish communities in Palestine, or the rights and political status enjoyed by Jews in any other country. The document is intentionally vague, not defining physical boundaries and referring only to a homeland, not a state, though it is considered to have helped found the State of Israel in 1948.
The Rothschild family was a banking family of great wealth, I'm sure one of the premier banking families in the world, and Jewish, and had been supporting the Zionists in Palestine all along by sending money to help them establish agricultural colonies and to buy equipment and also to purchase land.
Members of the family, namely Walter Rothschild, became involved in the early Zionist movement and had been pushing the UK government to make this promise.
Many people realized that if Britain won the war, it would divide up the Ottoman Empire. And the Ottoman Empire included Palestine.
Palestinians and people in Britain protest on the Balfour Declaration's anniversary each year. Last year, throwing red paint on the Foreign Office in London, saying Britain has blood on its hands. Jacob Rothschild's family says he will be buried in a private ceremony. Then there will be a public celebration of life at a later date.
British finance.
All right, Shalom. Before I get started with this lesson, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakwadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Double salutations to all you Akim out there laboring in the house of David, the elect, that's pushing his word with all truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Shalom to you, brothers, and shalom to the elect. I'm back with another quick lesson through the Holy Spirit, the Rakakwadash. All right, pray that this lesson is edifying. And I just wanted to add my input on this story here, which I'm pretty sure a lot of you already heard about. Brothers did lessons on it. All right. Jacob Rothschild is dead, as they say. And the scriptures say that his memorial shall perish, he shall have no name in the street, and this Edomite here made a point. He said when he died, he left behind a complicated legacy, and when he said that, I thought about, he left behind a complicated legacy of lies, wickedness, and destruction. You see what I'm saying? And eventually, death is going to catch up to all you you Edomites, man. You bankers, those that hold high position of power. Yahweh Shem Yahushua is coming for all of you. And the next stop is what? Slavery. All right, hardcore slavery for 1,000 years until and after that, Esau is going to be he's going to be eradicated. Right now, before I get into that, just like the brother Yashalam said, just as they know who we are, we know who you are. All right, let's make that point real quick. All right, and I pray that the audio and the sound's on point. Hopefully, they won't mess with the stream. But anyway, let's get this real quick because we have brought this out before. So this is from this book here. The Master Plan of the Illuminated Rothschilds. All right, and let's just go straight to the point. All right, just as they know who we are, we know who they are. All right, so let's just get right to the point here. So this is from the same book here, just on another website. So it says here, this was an interview. All right, going into the Rothschilds, who they are, their role in the world, things like that. It's a good read. But jumping straight down here, it says, can you be more specific as to the role the Rothschilds play into all of this? So it says, well, the most people who are into conspiracy know the Rothschilds are the most powerful family in the world. But you really don't hear about the details relating to how they have set themselves up to be king of the Jays, to usher in the anti-Messiah. It says it was the Rothschilds who financially backed the nation of Israel so they could eventually set up the throne for the anti-Messiah in Jerusalem. It says, yet during World War II, their money and their resources were used to kill millions of Jays, but these were seen as expendable Jays from the house of Jacob. Remember, these guys have the audacity to use the Bible as a blueprint to take over the world. All right. And really, Esau is just fulfilling his role as the left hand, the sword of the Most High. All right. It tells you that in 2 Thessalonians 2, that now he that letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. All right. So, Esau had a specific duty, a specific role in prophecy to fulfill before the Lord removes him out of the way. Right. Anyway, reading on here, it says the point. So it says, let me give you some background information. On one level, the Rothschilds secretly call themselves the House of David from the tribe of Judah. Now, Rothschild translated from German to English means red shield. All right. Because Esau was the red child. When you read Genesis the 25th chapter. All right. Scripture say he was born red and hairy. So they know exactly who they are. All right. It says Rothschild translated from German to English means red shield. During biblical times, the Edomites' fortress was red rocks of Petra. Esau, the twin brother of Jacob, was described as, quote, red and hairy. So this information fits perfectly with the Salakia. So this information fits perfectly with what survivors have been telling me. That on a deeper level, it says the Rothschilds are claiming to be descendants of Esau, and thus are really from the tribe, or really from the house or tribe of Esau. You see that? So they know who they are. We know who they are, just like how they know who we are. All right. They know that they descend from the Edomites. All right. It says on a deeper level, the Rothschilds are also claiming to be descendants of Esau, and thus are really from the house or tribe of Esau. All right. Clear cut. It says what they are trying to do is to get the birthright back from the house of Jacob, who are the real Jays. All right. Speaking about the Israelites. All right. You so-called Negroes, Latino, Native Americans, and Hispanics. All right. Everything, all the destruction and turmoil and chaos that they have caused in the earth was basically to get rid of you and to get and get back the birthright, man. All right. It says, however, the book of Obadiah talks about the destruction of the Edomites in the last days. Ooh, and see, you know, the death of Jacob Rothschild is just a sign from the Lord that pretty much, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is beginning to bring down the house of Esau. All right, because the scriptures tell us in 2nd Ezra 6:9 that Esau would be the end of the world. All right, and Jacob would be the beginning of it that followeth. All right, so we're in a time of Esau going down. All right, let's see if there's any more I want to read. It says, however, the book of Obadiah talks about the destruction of the Edomites in the last days. So this leads us to another interesting point in Revelation 3:9. It says, behold, I will make them the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jays and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them come and worship before thy feet. Then I asked the question, who is the synagogue of Satan? The only logical conclusion I could come up with is the Illuminati Rothschilds. All right. So it's all out there, man. All right. Esau, you can't run, you can't hide. And going back to the point here, his legacy is tarnished. All right. His legacy is pretty much trash. All right. And his memorial will not be remembered. All right. Because you can't cheat death. All these Edomites eventually going to perish anyway. And I wanted to get into that point real quick. Bear with me. Just thinking about what was written in Wisdom of Solomon. The mindset of the elites. Right. Let's read that. Because they tried to live as long as they could. All the damn heart transplants and the surgeries and the sacrifices and the adrenochrome. All of that shit, man. These devils are trying to. They understand what's going to happen in the next life to come. So anyway, this is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2. All right. Bear with me. All right, so this is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 1, and it reads, it says, for the ungodly said, reasoning with themselves, but not aright. Our life is short and tedious, and in death of a man there is no remedy, right? Can't cheat death, you can't escape death. Neither was there any man known to have returned from the grave. Verse 2, for we are born at all adventure, and we shall be hereafter as though we had never been. For the breath of our nostrils is as smoke, and as a little spark moving in our heart, which being extinguished, our body shall be turned into ashes, and our spirit shall vanish as the soft air. Right, and as Jacob Rothschild would happen, Okay, this is what happened to him. All right, now he's in the spirit world, right, getting ready to be put into hardcore bondage in the next life to come. Verse 4 says, and our name shall be forgotten in time. Right. And that's what's going to happen to all you Edomites, man. All you bankers, all you billionaire, trillionaire devils that control the earth and its resources. Eventually your name is going to be forgotten in time. You're not going to have any remembrance, man. And our name shall be forgotten in time, and no man shall have our works in remembrance. Our life shall pass away as the trace of a cloud, and shall be dispersed as the mist that is driven away with the beams of the sun and overcome with the heat thereof. For our time is a very shadow that passeth away, and after our end there is no returning. For it is fast sealed that no man cometh again. Right. And that's why, going back to that philosophy of what they call transhumanism. Let me pull this up, because I did plenty of lessons going into this topic about pretty much these elites. They have the idea of merging, their consciousness, their souls into machines and computers to basically to try to cheat death to live forever. Right. Which is nothing but vanity. Okay. No man can beat that war, as the scriptures tell you. Let me get that too. All right. Because these devils eventually they're all going to be faced with death. Right. Let me add on to that. Just to show you that this whole ideology is nothing but it's just vanity, This is Ecclesiastes chapter 8 and verse 6. It says, because to every purpose there is a time and judgment, therefore the misery of man is great upon him. For he knoweth not that which he knoweth not that which shall be. For who can tell him when his Salakia, for who can tell him when it shall be? The point. Ecclesiastes 8 and 8. It says, there is no man that have power over the spirit to retain the spirit, neither have he power in the day of death. You see that? So nothing that these devils can do is going to help prolong their existence, man. All right. Eventually they're going to die and they're all going to be destroyed. All right. It says there is no man that have power over the spirit to retain the spirit, neither have he power in the day of death. There is no discharge in that war. See, neither shall wickedness deliver those that are given to it. So there's nothing you devils can do. All right. That's why you had, what was the Edomite, was it Rockefeller? He had like damn near like 10 heart transplants, right? Because these devils, they understand. All right. The scriptures tell us in James that the devils also believe and tremble. So they understand what's getting ready to happen to them. All right. They know that Yahweh Shem Yahushua exists. All right. And you can't avoid that fate. All right. No matter what you do, is the point that I'm making here. Right. Let me read that in the NLT real quick. Same verse. All right. All right. So this is Ecclesiastes 8 and verse 8 in the NLT. It says, none of us can hold back our spirit from departing. None of us has the power to prevent the day of our death. There is no escaping that obligation. You see that? This is for all you Edomites that think that you're going to cheat death, that you're going to escape the Lord. It's not going to happen. It says there is no escaping that obligation, that dark battle. And in the face of death, wickedness will certainly not rescue the wicked. Exactly, man. All right. So eventually, hey, you're going to fall. All right. And you're going to be faced with the judgment of the Lord. All right. Let's see if there's any more in here. Yeah, that's the point. That's the point I wanted to read there. So anyway, moving on. Let's grab this real quick. All right. So this is Job 18. Okay. Job 18, and I start up at 15, Job 18 and 15, because this is what's going to happen to Esau's his hegemony, Job 18 and 15, it says it should dwell in his tabernacle because it is none of his. Brimstone shall be scattered upon his habitation. His root shall be dried up beneath, and above shall his branch be cut off. His remembrance shall perish from the earth, and he shall have no name in the street. Going back to the video, since he died, you have people all over the internet pretty much, crying out and getting on him. It was the same thing that happened with the Queen of England when she so-called died. People were pretty much calling out all of the wickedness, their lies, the things they did, the nations that they plundered, the resources that they stole. So his legacy, the so-called legacy of this devil is tarnished, is destroyed. Right? Your iniquity has been found to be hateful, man. Right? And that's why the whole planet is pretty much crying out against you. It says, it says, his remembrance shall perish from the earth, and he shall have no name in the street. He shall be driven from light into darkness and chased out of the world. And we see that now. And this is why pretty much as I go into these lessons, you have all of these other nations rising up against Edom. All right. They're calling out the bankers. They're calling out the NATO, the UN, okay, in America. All right. So these are all signs that determine that Esau's power is about to be taken from him. He's about to fall. Right. It says, neither shall he have son nor nephew among his people, nor any remaining in his dwellings. Why? Because he's going to be eradicated. Right. We're approaching the end of the Edomite. Okay. It says, excuse me. They that come after him shall be astonished at his day, as they went before were frightened. Surely such are the dwellings of the wicked, and this is the place of him that knoweth not Yahweh by Shem Yahushua, which is pretty much complete destruction. All right. This is Sirach, or Ecclesiastes chapter 10. All right. Just had a few scriptures here I just wanted to touch on, just to add my my input, because it's pretty much over for these devils, man. All right. This is excuse me. This is Sirach, the 10th chapter in the Apocrypha. And let's start at verse 14 here. It says, the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, have cast down the thrones of proud princes and set up the meek in their stead. All right. Because Jacob is next to rule the planet forever. All right. Once this devil is removed out of the way. It says, the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, have plucked up the roots of proud nations and planted the lowly in their place. In America, Babylon would be considered a proud nation, which the Lord is eventually going to pluck this place up by the roots. All right. Great violence and destruction. It says, verse 16, the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua overthrew the countries of the heathen and destroyed them to the foundations of the earth. Right. So every empire had its existence and it had a rise and a fall. All right. And America is no different. All right. Verse 17, it says, he took some of them away and destroyed them and have made their memorial to cease from the earth. You see that? And that's what's coming to the Edomite, man. All right. As when you read this, going back to this chapter here, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2. All right. These devils, really dealing with these bankers. All right. The chief house of Esau going back to Amalek, the so-called J. All right. The small hatters, they know that their time is limited, that their position of rulership is about to be taken away. So they understand that they're on borrowed time. All right. And the scriptures tell us that the Most High has set bounds that this devil cannot pass. All right. So his time is up, and the death of Jacob Rothschild is just a indicator of that. You see that? Now, I made mention in this video about the excuse me. It made mention about the establishment of the Balfour Declaration, all right, which was established pretty much in 1917. And then you had the creation of the so-called Jayish state in 1948, right? Which was all wickedness, all right, which was nothing biblical about that. I want to get that real quick too. Bear with me. All right, just thinking about that too. All right, Lord willing, you can hear me too, man. I hope my voice don't sound too crazy. But anyway, just want to make a point on that. All right, just getting into the prophecy that on how these devils would eventually, pretty much steal the land. All right, so this is Ezekiel 36 and verse 1. It says, also, thou son of man, prophesy unto the mountains of Israel and say, you mountains of Israel, hear the words of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua. It says, verse 2, thus saith the Lord power, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, because the enemy have said against you, aha, even the ancient high places are ours in possession. You see that? And this is how they got the land. All right, by the Balfour Declaration. All right, which was a it tells you in the video, it was pretty much an official letter, written to what's his name? Walter Rothschild. All right. You know, it was an agreement between Walter Rothschild and the British government to establish a homeland for the small hatters, for the 1948ers. All right, this is how this came about, as we saw in the video here. Verse 3, it says, therefore prophesy and say, thus saith the Lord power, Yahweh Shem Shah, because they have made you desolate and swallowed you up on every side, that you might be a possession unto the residue of the heathen, and you are taken up into the lips of talkers, and are an infamy of the people. All right. Therefore, you mountains of Israel, hear the word of the Lord power, Yahweh Shem Shah, thus saith the Lord power, Yahweh Shem Shah, the mountains into the hills, to the rivers, into the valleys, into the desolate waste, and to the cities that are forsaken, which became a prey and derision to the residue of the heathen that are round about. And it says the point, because right now you have, who do you have over there? You have you have the 40 years, you have the so-called Palestinians, Ishmaelites, you know, Elamites, Hamites, you know, you got nothing but heathen in that land that occupy the land of Israel today. Right? But the point, verse 5, it says, Ezekiel 36:5, it says, therefore thus saith the Lord power, Yahweh Shem Shai, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen and against all of Idumea. See that? Who is Idumea? That's Esau. All right, Edom. It says, against all of Idumea, which have appointed my land into their possession with the joy of all their heart, with despiteful minds to cast it out for a prey. All right, so the Edomites are the one that pretty much occupy the land of Israel today. All right, and this all happened through the Balfour Declaration, which further on into 1948 was the establishment or the creation of the so-called Jewish state, man. So this is what happened. All right, so his legacy, going back to my point, you know, this devil's legacy is a complicated legacy of lies, wickedness, and destruction, man. All right. And we're at the point, you know, where his memorial is not going to be remembered. All right. He's constantly being exposed. He's being called out. And the whole world is pretty much crying out against him. Right. And that's why I said next stop is what? Hardcore bondage for all you devils, man. This is the book of, let's get that in Psalms 140, Psalms 149, excuse me. Psalms 149, and I'm gonna start at verse 5 here. All right, Psalms 149, verse 5. It says, let the saints be joyful in glory, let them sing aloud upon their beds. Verse 6, let the high praises of Yahweh Shem Shai be in their mouth, right? Going back to this knowledge, this truth, and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people. The point, Psalms 149, verse 8, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron. This was going to happen, man. All right. To all the kings of the earth, starting with you Edomites, man. All right. Your destiny, your future is hardcore slavery. All right. To bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron, to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints. Praise ye the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai. So, like I said, these devils they know exactly what's getting ready to happen to them, man. This is why they're trying to avoid death. This is why they're trying to prolong their lives. You know, they're trying to prolong their kingdom, you know, because they understand what's about to happen, what's next. Revelation 13:10, it says, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. And who are the saints? The Israelites, starting with the elect. All right. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints, man. All right. We're waiting to bind up the kings of this earth with chains and fetters of iron, man, as the scriptures say. All right. These goddamn devils are going down. All right. Isaiah 24. Let me get one more real quick. Another one in Isaiah 24 and verse 21, right? Okay. That's Isaiah 24 and verse 21. And it reads, it says, and it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai, shall punish the host of high ones that are on high and the kings of the earth upon the earth. All right. It says, verse 22, and they should be gathered together as prisoners are gathered into the pit, and they should be shut up in the prison, and after many days they should be visited. Right, so they're going to be gathered up. All right, all the elites are going to be gathered up. All basically the whole the whole nation of Esau, Edom, it's going to be gathered up in chains, man. Right, to serve captivity, to serve hardcore bondage, slavery for 1,000 years until they get eliminated. All right, and they're going to be thrown in that pit to be executed. It says, verse 23, the moon shall be confounded, the sun should be ashamed, and the son ashamed when the Lord Yahweh Shema host shall reign in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem and before his ancients gloriously, man. So hey, at the end of this thing, man, all right, Jacob is going to rule the earth forever. All right, that's my point. Another one. Okay, this is Psalm chapter 9 and verse 5. It says, thou hast rebuked the heathen, thou hast destroyed the wicked, thou hast put out their name forever and ever. Verse 6, O thou enemy, destructions are come to a perpetual end, and thou hast destroyed cities, their memorial is perished with them. You see that? So everything, all of his accomplishments, all of his lies, all right, it's all going to be destroyed with this devil, man. That's my point, man. So, you know, you devils is going down, man. I just wanted to add my my point in on this lesson. You know, I pray that this quick lesson was edifying, man. Just a major sign from the Lord, man, that this thing is getting ready to happen, man. Esau's going down, man. His kingdom is going to be destroyed. So I pray that this quick lesson was edifying. You know, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakudash, and Shalom to the next one. Hey, Shalom.